welcome back to the Adrian McGill Show. So today's video I'm going to be telling you guys about how I was a giant elephant in an ice show. Yeah, seriously though, I was in the Iceploration show at Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida, which actually just had its final curtain call on April 23rd. I worked in this show for maybe a little bit over 2 years now, and which is pretty cool. And it's honestly I wanted to make a vlog about this because every time I tell people about this, everybody usually thinks it's so fascinating or interesting that I was in this show. And the show basically was an ice show of ice skaters, and there were actors in it, a grandpa and a child, either a boy or a girl, and it was basically and there were puppeteers in the show and animals in the show. I was a puppeteer in it, and like stilt walker. Yeah, it was just basically about going through the world, or exploring the world, I guess, you know. And it was a really cool show. It's kind of special to me only because it was the first show that I was put in at Busch Gardens before I did any other gig there or any other show there. It was the first big production I ever got to be a part of, so it was kind of cool to be a part of it. And you know, my intent has always been to dance or act, but being a part of this show, it was cool because I got to be around a bunch of professional ice skaters and actors and you know, obviously technicians, like every show has. But it was really cool. It was a cool experience, and I can honestly say that I had a good time doing it. And I'm a little sad that it's over, and happy at the same time, because it's kind of like bittersweet. But it was a really cool experience, and I got to make a lot of cool friends with a lot of people on that cast. So I was a elephant at the beginning, which this is it. Yep. That was me. Yep, playing that elephant. The elephant actually is how inside that elephant is. The way that elephant works is there's two people in it, and those are stilt walkers in there. And if you don't know what stilts are when you go to Universal or Busch Gardens, or did they have them at Disney World, or they're at any kind of big event where they're basically just really tall people. And the way we got into that costume was we got into our stilts backstage, and then we would walk. The stage techs, they would lower the elephant slowly over us and basically strap us in. We would get in. It was kind of like a book bag. You strap yourself in and you put a buckle right here, and then the technicians were tying us in and zipping us up and all that stuff, good stuff. So it was cool. It just kind of sucked because when somebody farted inside that thing, you would be stuck inside this big ass elephant with fart gas or a giant cloud of freaking fart. But it was cool, and it's really a lot easier than you think, especially being on ice, because the stilts were how we had spikes on them, so they kind of just stuck into the ground or stuck into the ice so it wouldn't slip. This is how it kind of looks inside of the elephant when we're on stage. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. This is how it kind of looks when you're inside that elephant, and I Snapchatted it or I saved it to my story because I wanted to have some sort of memory of being inside there. But this is how it kind of looked like when we were in there, and this is all you could really see. And this is from the back. I played the front and the back of the elephant. Yeah, we were walk. So you can't really see. You can't really see much, I'm just looking down at the ground right there because that's the only thing you could really look at. And then when you're in the front of the elephant, all you can see is your front of you. So your vision in that big ass costume was very limited. But it was cool, it was cool. And then also what I did was I was some of the coral reefs in that show. And there was a under the sea scene where acrobats would come down, and then there were coral reefs in it. And some of the ice skaters would skate around, and basically what we do would haul these heavy ass coral reefs around the stage. And when it came down to it, towards the end of the number, the acrobats were lowered down onto the stage, and we'd catch them, unhook them from their harnesses, and we'd have to push the coral reefs off stage. And that was kind of like hard to see. I really wanted to get a GoPro and go through the show with the GoPro on my head, and I saw some other techs doing it, and I thought it would have been an awesome idea, but I never thought of it. And I wish I would have done it before the show closed, but you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But it was cool. But those goddamn coral reefs were the heaviest things in the world, and I hated those things. I was also dancing Snowdrift, and what Snowdrift is like, there was a Arctic number, or like when you're in the Arctic, or the Arctic, I don't know, the freaking cold, whatever. But the little boy or little girl and their grandpa were like exploring the snow or the ice, and there's a part where the snow blocks and the snowdrift come alive and start dancing, and I was one of the snowdrifts. And basically what it was, we get under this giant it was like a giant sheet, but it wasn't a sheet, it was like a big fabric, basically this big thing of fabric, and we'd have like a little choreography number where we would be punching the fabric in unison. And it was cool, but honestly, like, that thing was a pain in the freaking ass, because we'd be like moving around and switching sides and stuff in it, and like just constantly moving in there, and it would be very easily to trip on the snowdrift fabric because there was so much fabric. Also, it was funny, it would always be funny because in the show there were acrobats, and the acrobats didn't speak any English. They spoke very minimal English. They were from Russia. So, we'd always have an acrobat inside the snowdrift, so it was, I don't know, it was cool, because it was fun, And honestly, working with a bunch of acrobats who speak Russian, I kind of learned some Russian languages, or some Russian words. I learned too, but the only one I remember is suka, and suka is a bad word in Russian, or Russia. Look it up, suka. But yeah, it was cool. The snowdrift was a pain in the ass, and then we had to like haul it off stage after like we were done dancing. It was basically like the snowdrift was dancing and the ice blocks were dancing with the little boy, the little girl. There was a part where I was this frog, this puppet frog that came out of the perch. The perch was this big thing that we had to push onto the ice, where the Grandpa Jimmy or Grandpa Chris would have to be up on this thing, the perch, and the child actor would be up on the perch. We'd push him out, I'd get into the perch, and then when the cue came, I think I remember the words. Wait till I tell my friends you tried to feed. Wait till I tell my friends you tried to feed me to a vicious plant. Blah! And then the frog would come out and it'd like start dancing and all this shit. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I liked it. It was a cool show to be a part of. I'm very grateful that I got to be the experience. And I'm happy that it's over, just because I need to push myself to, like, you know, figure out what's next in my life and what other film opportunities I want to do, you know, and etc. But I'm very grateful to be able to be part of that show. And I'm really grateful that I got to meet that cast. I could honestly say that I definitely met some really cool people on that cast, and I'm very happy that I got to be a part of it. Not to mention all the animals I got to be a part of. Like, there were so many animals in the show that I was around animal trainers, and there were a bunch of puppies we had in the show, and we had parrots. I think his name was Maverick and Bella, and this is Bella. Yeah, she's so cute. That's Bella. We had like other birds. Man, there was crane. There was like a bunch of animals. I don't even know what the name of all the animals are, but it was a really cool show to be a part of. I'm happy I got to be a part of it. However, I always feel like film is my forte, or film is where I will excel, and that is what I'm going to be more focusing on now and in the future. So, but not to say that I'm completely done with stage work. I will hopefully do some more stage stuff in the future, but for right now, I want to focus on film because I just think that's my strong point. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I wanted to just share this awesome experience with you guys. I thought it was so much fun. I'm glad to be a part of this show. If you're watching this and you were a part of this cast, thanks for making this experience one to remember for me. Yeah, and love you guys. Subscribe if you have not, and like this video, please. And you know, follow me on Instagram and social media and all that stuff. Yeah, send me some fan mail too.